is there a theme that you've seen as far as like how people are getting into disability ministry?
Well, what I used to think and what I have learned this year in talking to so many different people. So what I used to think was, oh, you have to be in proximity to somebody with disability, like in your family, your child, something like that. And that's how you get into disability ministry, because that's how a lot of people do. But then some of the conversations, actually some of the podcasts who haven't come out, like with Ryan and Dr. Eric Carter, they got into it because when they were young adults, they met some people with disabilities who are really awesome. They're like, I want to be friends with them. And they're like, I want other people to be friends with them. And that grew into both of them have dedicated their lives to creating spaces where every person can belong, no matter their ability. There's also just some people that kind of fell into it. Like I think of Jess Berryhill. I loved
Yeah.
our conversation with her.
Yeah.
She was a youth minister, and some kids showed up with disabilities, and she didn't know how to include them. And God spoke to her, I forget what she said, Home Depot or Lowe's or something. And she bought locks for a kid that he loved locks. And by playing with the locks, he was able to participate. And now she has a house where people with disabilities and typical young adults live together. They go on camping trips. They have, Christmas with matching pajamas. And she fell into it. She did not seek it out. God put her in the right place in the right time. Well, I guess she did have a choice. But she chose to do this. I mean, her life has been forever changed.
And if I remember correctly, she didn't look at it from the perspective of how can I help this kid with special needs feel included. It was, hey, I've got a kid in my community, and how can I help him better connect to the rest of the community? So it was I think that was the more I've gotten to listen to all the conversations you've had with other people, and then the things that you've written in the book, serving this group that you were trying to help, but they're also just good ideas for everyone.
That's right.
Jess's concept of how do I help this person feel more connected? That's a great idea for everybody. Like, how about we just do that? And then the idea of being patient with another person, because you don't know what their, what are their challenges that day or in that moment. And it's like, oh, that's a good idea when you're having a conversation with anyone.
Right.
So,
well,
it's,
I don't know if you remember this, Dave. We were at lunch before I even started writing the book, and I was telling you about what I thought I would write about. And you said, oh, so basically it's just about being a decent human being, especially when other people are like frustrating. Yeah, be a decent human being. That's what it's about.
It's like there is a different level of consideration that you might need to apply to people that have unique needs.
Right.
But gosh, those are actually, that level of consideration is just nice for everyone.
Right.
So how are you putting yourself in a position where you have the time and the patience to just operate in that way, not turn it on or off depending on the person that's across from you? So
Absolutely.
So the big theme was proximity.
Yeah, the theme is proximity. And that's really why we started this podcast, Dave, because a lot of people don't have people in their lives who have disabilities or who have experienced trauma. So we wanted them to hear stories so they might not be in physical proximity, but at least they're close enough to hear the stories and hear how disabilities or neurodivergence or trauma impacted a kid or an adult. Because we talked to Dr. Lamar Hardwick, who I love, he's an adult that's diagnosed with autism. And we just wanted people, I think when we get closer and we understand a bit more, then our empathy and compassion grows. And that's what we want.